Hello and welcome back. This is part 7 of Stripping It Right Back. And if you've joined me again, fabulous. Anyway, we're almost at the end of this journey. A few more streams to go and we will be there. There's so many avenues I have to go down. There's so many angles still to cover. But anyway, I'm trying to condense a very, very complex subject into a few streams, basically. But anyway, today I'd like to talk about the idea that we're all prescribed to ascribe to the accord of reality in the same manner. We're all prescribed to ascribe to the accords of reality in the same manner. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that. And incidentally, I have been saying throughout these streams that that you have no choice but to countenance me, what I am saying. You have no choice but to recalibrate your mind and align with what I am saying. Okay, and that's a big, cheeky, bold statement, isn't it? To tell you that you have no idea but to identify with what I'm relaying down here. But I have no choice but to align my mind with the accords of nature. Okay, we're all stuck with the same square. Okay, we all square up the square in the same way. You're prescribed to ascribe to the accord of the square in the same way, and you're prescribed to ascribe to the accords of how we square up the square in the same way, how we square up the cube in the same way, how we square up the chessboard in the same way, how we square up humans in the same way, how we square up atoms and cells and genetics in the same way. We square up pictures in the same way all the time. So we're all prescribed to ascribe to the accords of reality in the same way, and we're all prescribed to ascribe to how we square up reality in the same way, if that makes sense. Okay, so you have to countenance that. You really do have to countenance that. We all have the same seeing lens. We all have the same systemic lens built in that is fit around a set of a priori utility mechanisms, utility modes, and so on, like I have been, building in you since the first stream. Okay, so let's just run with that. Okay, one of the ideas I want to run with is the idea, our minds fit this reality in the same way. Okay, we all understand internal and external. Okay, we all understand far and near, up and down, aggregate and whole, them and us, I and we, I and me. Okay, you and me, I should say, more importantly. We all understand that the world breaks down to molecules and atoms. Okay, because that's how we're ascribed to see it. Okay, there's no one with an alternative opinion to that. Okay, people can delude themselves, but the reality is reality. We're all prescribed the prescription. I've been giving you the prescription of the mind, okay, and I've been giving it to you through a set of utility modes, like I said, through a set of modes that allows us to see the world with symmetry. Okay, we have a systemic lens that allows us to see the geometry of the world with symmetry and hold accord by it. That's my point. So this is what we are. This is what we are in relation to how we actually see systemically. More to the point. Okay, more to the point. So the mind, like you understand, the hand fits the glove. Okay, well the mind is the hand and the glove is reality. The mind is the hand and the glove is the reality that we're occupying. Okay, and this reality, this garden out here, is what I like to think of as a matrix of inferences. Okay, we fix our mind around inferences, around fixed positions. I spoke about this earlier. We're all prescribed to ascribe to reality, to hold accord with all the fixed positions of nature, and we build axioms to understand them and so on, so we can move forward on the path of that, if you will. We all understand, like I said, an internal and an external view of the world. We all have an internal, our compass can turn inwards and we can internalize ourselves, or our compass can come outwards through the ego, through the senses, and we can internalize this garden out here. Okay. So I want to look at now the mode of topology. Now topology is a big field and it relates to computer technology and sciences and how to build up networks and understand networks. But topology for me is all about how the mind fixes itself around, how it maps itself onto shapes. Okay, how we can map the terrain of a place. Okay, that's all about the topological lens in the mind. I can map your face, I can map the cube, I can map the square, and we all map the cube and the square in the same manner. So we all have the same topological mode built in. Okay, now the topological mode it's kind of, it's the ultimate mode in the seeing eye. Okay, let's look at it like that. It's the ultimate mode in the seeing eye, because the mind reaches out, okay, and it aligns, it extends into, it expands into all fields of knowledge. Okay, it uses the modes of extension and expansion. Okay, it oscillates around different states. It oscillates. We're all wired to understand past and future present states. Okay, we can all oscillate, we can all think backwards and forwards around all the fixed positions of reality. so on. So the topological lens allows us to see this and map the terrain we're in, okay? And the topological lens, for example, allows us to set our minds up around the fixtures of a chessboard, for example, okay? We understand all the different combinational variables of a chessboard, okay, and how the game is played, okay? Because the topological mind sits itself on the network of plays, all the combinational factors that give us the game of chess. In much the same manner, we can all structure our minds topologically around, say, a cell and how a cell works, the composition of a cell and so on. We can topologically structure the mind around the human body and break it down into parts, okay, break it down into different categories, okay, so we can understand it as a network of plays and so on. So once again, if we can understand it as a network of plays, it's because we have a topological lens built in to allow us to understand things as a network of plays and so on. Anyway, just to go back to the original point, that the idea that we're all prescribed. Like I said, I've been giving you the prescription of the mind through a set of modes to give agency to consciousness. So when we're conscious about reality, okay, when we are employed in conscious thought, we're employed through a set of systemic modes, and their overall view is a topological view, a view that maps itself onto reality, so it can understand itself in relation to this matrix of inference that we are dwelling in, if you will. Anyway, so the point being is, I am building to the idea that there's a ghost, a single ghost entity, a God entity, a conscious entity on this planet, and it's wearing 8 billion conduits, the human conduit, the human form. It's wearing everything, anything sentient, okay, it's wearing, but it is utilized best in this human form, in the human brain, because it has the capacity to channel it, if you will, okay? It has the capacity to channel this monumental topological eye that allows itself to map itself onto this reality so it can better place itself, okay? It's all about placing itself. So yes, so it's important if I'm building up a ghost picture and I'm going to be asking you to identify with it, to ascribe to it, to prescribe your mind to it, okay? It's important, like I said, that you understand that we are all aligning with reality in the same manner. We all see internally, externally, we all understand far and near, whole, aggregate, and so on, okay? So we're all built with the same inner lens, okay? You have to countenance that. This is how, right now, you're trying to navigate your mind by my words, okay? You're trying to hold a chord with them, okay? You're trying to ascribe to them. So the prescription of your mind can ascribe to them, making us one and the same thing when you get into the ultimate engine of the head. So I'll leave it on that note, and peace and love and logic. Thank you for listening.